Hello, it's Jeanette with Geomazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am back with another video tutorial, and today I'm going to be making a set of note cards using all 5 colors of the colors that are retiring from Stampin' Up! This year. They will be gone on May 3rd. Many of these products are already sold out, but if you have some of these products, I just want to give you a little example of what you can make with pretty much any color that you want to make it in. It's just a fun way of using some of the supplies that I've gathered up throughout the last couple of years for these in colors, which were 2019 to 2021. And I only have 4 of the colors here because the last one I'm going to do is Rococo Rose. And I have all of the supplies next to me over here. But this one here is Seaside Spray. And this is just a little note card. And I have used, the cardstock. I've used the Designer Series paper stack. I've used the ribbon. I have used the ink. And I've also used the little butterfly gems that you could get in the in colors. So that's the Seaside Spray. This one is Purple Posy, and I know that you can't get the ink because they had a problem with the ink. You could achieve a similar result with stamping off with Gorgeous Grape or maybe even Highland Heather, doing that second generation stamp. But this is my Purple Posy, and this one is my Terracotta Tile. Bright. This is a really bright orange color. I love this terracotta. And then this one is Pretty Peacock. And yes, I did stamp the envelopes, I meant to tell you. And the stamp set that I'm using today is also going to be retiring, and that is called Posted for You. And right now I think you can still get it as a bundle. That bundle is, wait, let me grab this punch that I'm going to be using. If you can't get it as a bundle, I will post it up there. But for the most part, you were able to get these two together and save 10%. But I will make sure that I'm telling you the right information because I didn't check that before I started the video. But anyway, I'm using this stamp right here. And I'm also using this punch here to punch out these little Designer Series paper rectangles. So let's get started with Rococo Rose. Okay, let me put this aside for now. Now the first thing I want to do is take out our note card. The note cards, I think you get about 20 note cards and envelopes in a pack. Let me make sure that's correct. I'm using the basic white note cards and envelopes. And I believe you get, yes, you get 20 cards and 20 envelopes in one order, or one, stack like this. So this is the card. And if you don't have the note cards and just the envelopes, this measures 7 inches across here and 5 inches, and we score it at 3.5. So I am just going to fold this. Yes, there is a little score line down here. It's very faint, so if you want to, you could score it again and just make it a little bit pronounced so that you can cut. So I'm going to use my bone folder to really give it a nice crease here. Okay. And now I'm going to put that aside for right now. Oh, well, let's just do the stamping. Why not, right? Okay, let me clean my stamp off because I just used it for the Pretty Peacock. You see that Pretty Peacock on there? I'm going to use my chamois, and yes, my chamois is very, very dirty. It's kind of that way on both sides. So, but I love this thing. It really gets my stamp clean. Look at that. And you just have to keep it wet with water, and I put it in one of these little stamp cases so that it stays moist. And we're going to be bringing out our Rococo Rose stamp pad here. And I am going to stamp right here on the corner. I'm going to do it sideways like that. And then I'm going to stamp on this side too. Now one thing, if you don't already know this, that when you stamp with any of the dark colors, it looks a lot darker once you first stamp it, but as it dries, it will lighten up. So, isn't that a pretty stamp? It is a beautiful flower stamp. I love that. And if you wanted to, you could color it in, you know, with a different shade, but I'm just going to leave it just like that. And I'm going to be putting this aside over here because I probably will use it again. The next thing I'm going to do is, well, I've kind of already done it, is I have die cut 2 pieces, a piece of Whisper, actually Basic White, and a piece of Rococo Rose. And I die cut it with the layering ovals. I used the smallest, okay, this is the layering ovals. I used the smallest of the regular ovals, okay, that one there, and I used the smallest of the scalloped ovals, and they kind of match up pretty good together. And so that's what I did right here. Now I want to stamp the Just a Note on here, but it might be kind of hard for me to kind of maneuver it. So what I've done is I've set things up, move that over here. I have set things up with my Stamparatus. Hold on a second, let me find it. Oh, it's right here. Okay, here we are. Here's my Stamparatus. And you see I have this Just a Note in there inside that oval. So what I did with some of them, or with one of them, I stamped it on a piece of cardstock and then I punched it out. And so, but before I stamped it, I made sure I had this Just a Note on this, the plate. So I stamped it right here, I punched it out, and now everything that I put in there is going to be positioned correctly to stamp it again. So I'm going to remove my little grid sheet over here. I'm working in a different area today. Now I'm going to just take my ink, my Rococo Rose ink, and just tap, tap, tap very lightly, trying not to get any ink all over my surface here. Okay, and this is in there like that. Can you see that? I'm going to just close it. And now my oval has been stamped right in the right spot. And so this is kind of good when you are doing a lot of stamping, a lot of different, like I'm doing here, making a set, and they're all kind of the same except different colors. I'm going to put this away now. Okay, and now I'm going to adhere this on here, but I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet so I could do that. I'm going to put some liquid glue on here. And I need liquid glue because I want to make sure that I get it right in the center. And with liquid glue, you get a little bit of hang time, just a little bit. So I'm just going to pick this up with my tweezers here. Let's see. It doesn't really matter whether it's upside down. I just want to make sure it's centered here. And there we go. There is my little label for the front, so I'm going to put that aside here. And the next thing I'm going to do is work on my my layers for the front. And now I have already stamped or punched rather. I've already punched all of the pieces that I need. I think I did. Oh no, I did not. I did not punch them. Well, here's my envelope. Why don't I go ahead and stamp the envelope while I have the ink out? Okay. Make sure I got it the right way. And we're going to just stamp it right here. Okay, and we'll put that aside. And now we're going to do our punching. I just remembered I was going to punch on camera there. Here. Okay, so there's 4 different designs on this designer series paper. And this will be retiring after May 3rd. Not sure if you could still get it, but the last time I looked, it was still available on the website. So I'm going to bring out my rectangle postage stamp punch, and I'm going to just punch one of these I'm only going to use 3 of these designs. So I want to make sure that it's straight and I can see all the letters straight. And then I'm going to use the polka dots. Just making sure it's straight. Okay, and then I'm going to also use this little, I'm not really sure what this is. It looks like fabric. But it's just a textured with the little white speckles on it. I'm not exactly sure what you would call that pattern. But there is those are my 3 patterns from that designer series paper. And then you're going to need to layer it on some basic white. Now this piece of basic white measures 2 1/8 by 4 1/2. And I'm going to lay it out like this. I got to make sure I'm laying this out the right way. Okay, this is on this side, and then I've got the words on this side, and then I've got the polka dots in the middle like that. And I'm going to be using some liquid glue to make sure that my spacing is right. Now you're going to have a little bit more space on the side if you want to space them right in the middle, and up and down try to get the spacing right. But I'll show you how it looks once I'm done. Let's go ahead. I'm going to put glue on this one and that one first and get them spaced right, and then put the middle one on. That is how it works for me. But if you want to start with the middle, that's fine too. Right, just like that. And we're going to go ahead and let that dry. We'll put that aside. And now I'm going to be putting some ribbon on here. Yep, some ribbon. Here's my ribbon. Wait, what I need for ribbon is one that measures. Let me get out my little grid sheet here. I need one that will measure 3 1/2 inches. Okay, I'm going to get my ribbon scissors out, and this one's going to measure, let's see, from the end of this to here is 3 1/2 inches. Okay, and I try to cut between the scallops on this beautiful rococo rose scallop linen ribbon. So that one's 3 1/2 inches, and then I'm going to need another one that is 2 1/2 inches. Okay, so we'll go from here to there at 2 1/2 inches. And like I say, I'm trying to cut, you know, where the scallops are, right in between. And then I'm going to need one that's approximately 5 inches. You don't really need exactly 5 inches, but 5 inches will work. And you might be trimming off like maybe 1/4 inch. But I'm just going to go ahead and go with 5 inches right here, or approximately 5 inches there. And so what I need to do is I need to, let me pull that away. I need to grab my tear and tape right here, and on the back I'm going to be putting a strip of tear and tape so that I can adhere this long strip of ribbon. So let's do this right on the edge. It doesn't really matter which edge, this one or that one, as long as you have it close to the edge. And I'm going to just cut that off right there. And then I'm going to use my take your pick tool and release the back of paper, just like that. And then I am going to take this and turn it over. I'll try to do it without the silicone craft sheet. What I want to do is I want to match this edge of the scallops. I don't want to see any of that burlap. I just want to see the pink edge. That's all. Just that nice pink edge all the way down like that. And so you have some scallops there. Okay, and now I'm going to use my ribbon scissors here, my paper snips that I mostly just use for ribbon. I'm cutting it off right there. And now I am going to place this right here in the middle. Okay, I can still feel that the glue's a little bit wet, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I just dropped my tweezers. I drop everything. Okay, so if I didn't mention this, this piece of cardstock, this is the Rococo Rose cardstock, measures 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. This one is 2 1/8 by 4 1/2. And we are just going to go ahead and layer this. And I'm just making sure that they're even from the sides and straight on the bottom with just a little bit of border right here. Okay, you see that right there? All right, and now I want to let that dry. Actually, it's just gonna go ahead and dry. I'm just gonna go ahead and put my glue on here, put a little bit on this ribbon here, and we're going to attach it to the front of the card like this. Okay, just like that. And it's going to cover some of your design, so don't worry. It's still going to look pretty. Okay, and now we're going to let that dry, and we are going to go ahead and make our fake bow. It's a bow. It's not really fake, but it's a lazy man's bow, or lazy woman's bow. I am going to take some, and then I dropped something. I dropped my Tombow Mono adhesive on the ground. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue dots, and I'm going to take a glue dot and put it right on the end of one of these, one of this ribbon, either side, it doesn't really matter. So I have my glue dot there, and I am going to match it up here. I did show, I think I showed this in a video how I do this. Very, very simple, very lazy man. Okay, and then I'm going to take another glue dot, and I'm going to put it right there next to that seam. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. I hope I'm still in camera when I do this. Okay, see the seam right there? That's where I put my glue dot, right on the seam. And now I'm going to be looking at it, you know, up and down, and I want to just squeeze that glue dot to where it's right in the center, where you have the same amount of loop on both sides. And once you do, you have this little figure 8. You see that? This little figure 8 bow. And then on the back, for this 2.5 inch piece right here, I'm going to fold it and just kind of make some fishtails like this. And the way I measured it is I took 2 of those scallops and then just snipped it like a V, like that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on this one here. I'm going to put my thumb, match up the 2 scallops there, that way you know you're right in half. I'm putting my thumb right here, and then I'm just going to make a V cut, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to put another couple of glue dots on this ribbon. And I am going to make sure I have it kind of right in the center here. Oh, I got the wrong side. I put the glue dots on the wrong side. Oh, mio mio. I can take them off just fine, but I have wasted 2 glue dots. But that's okay. Yes, you want to make sure that you're on the side of the seam when you put your glue dots there. The seams matched up so good I couldn't tell from here. Okay. So this is the seam right here. I'm going to put a glue dot on this side of the seam and one on this side of the seam. And then I'm going to center it. Sure you got that in the front right there. I'm going to center that. Oh, come on, glue dot, stay. Get off my finger. They are very sticky. Okay, now try to find the center again. and you want to make sure you line it up on the edge. Make sure those edges are together. And there you go. Just kind of push that in. And now you've got your glue, your bow. But I'm going to also be using some of these butterfly gems. And I'm going to pick the one that's in Rococo Rose. I'm going to pick the large one here. Okay. And I'm going to put that right in the center there. Okay. Now let me grab my card. Grab my tag. I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. A couple of dimensionals on here. And we're going to set this right in the middle, right here. Okay. And then we're going to put a couple of dimensionals on here again. Yep. On the back side. I'm going to put 2 of them on here. And we are going to place that right there, just below the J. Yes, right there. Okay. And now I'm going to take that smaller gem and I'm going to put that up here right in the center of the oval. So now we have both sizes of butterflies right there. Can you see that? I know I probably keep going off camera. I got to get used to this this little area that I've shrunk down my area a little bit for filming. So anyway, this is my card. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that cute? I just love the Rococo Rose. Is my favorite color out of all the other colors, the in colors. I did like that Seaside Spray, but I think Rococo Rose was probably my best, my favorite. I love this card. Okay, and matching it with the envelope. Here we go. Just like that. Let me bring in the other cards and their envelopes. So this is my card set with all 5 colors, and I also wanted to remind you, if you don't already know, that we have our acetate boxes. They're these clear boxes, and this set would probably go perfectly in here. I just remember that right after I got that phone call that, hey, don't forget about the acetate boxes, and you just want to, you know, just fold the score lines that are in there, and then just grab all of these. Let's see how they'll fit in here. I probably will have to stagger them this way and that way. Just grab that. We're staggering them here and there. And we're going to set them in here like this. Oops. Make sure they all get in there. See how that looks. There we go. Now you can tie them before you put them in there. Okay, so now you've got your nice box set. Put a tag on here. You could even wrap it with some more designer series paper. But yeah, don't forget about the acetate boxes that we have. They are card boxes for this purpose, so that you can make a set of cards. And this is 5 cards that'll fit in here. But don't forget I have embellishments on there. So that's taking up a little bit of room too. So I hope that I've taught you something. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will try making a card similar to this. If you need any of the tools and supplies that I used in this video, they will all be listed in the description of the video. So once again, oh, and go to my website at www.geoamazingpapercrafts.stampinup.net. That is a mouthful, isn't it? So once again, I'm Jeanette with Geoamazing Paper Crafts, and you make it a great day. Bye-bye.